Hi kids, it's Teacher here. Let's talk silly science. Today, boys and girls, we will talk about the lungs. Now let me tell you, the lungs are like bag-like organs or body parts that are inside of our body that's used for breathing. Where do you think my lungs are? Oh, teacher, it says it right here. My lungs are located about here. That's our esophagus or our throat. And then there's our heart there. So the lungs are right outside of the esophagus and the heart, right? Yeah, and they look like a little bit of bags. They look cushiony, right? Yeah, they do. So that's where our lungs are located, and they're used for breathing. You know, the lungs are a part of what we call our respiratory system. And all of that, again, just says our breathing system. You know, have you ever seen a balloon? You ever blown a balloon up? Mm-hmm. When you put air inside of that balloon, what happens? That balloon, I said it so fast. When you put air inside of that balloon, what happens? Okay, let's try it and see. So when you put air inside of that balloon, it gets bigger. And when you let it out, then it gets smaller. It deflates, right? So I put air in, it inflates. Take air out, it deflates. That's a little bit how our lungs work. When you put air in, that's when you're breathing through air in your mouth, and you take a deep breath like I'm getting ready to do. What happens to our chest? Okay, let it out. Okay, now what happens to your chest? You try it, boys and girls. Breathe in. Let it go. That's right. When you breathe that air in, it inflated like the balloon. It got really, really big. But then you let the air out, and then it got small again. It deflated. Well, that's about what our lungs, that's how they work. We put air out inside of them, they swell. When we let it out, our chest goes down. And that's what, because we're pulling in air or carbon dioxide into our bodies, because our bodies need that, yeah. And then when we exhale, we're letting all the bad air out of our bodies. So sometimes it's just a good idea to take a deep breath and let it out. Yeah, we could do that all day, couldn't we? Absolutely. But I want you to do something for me. I want you to make a copy of your lungs. I want you to imitate your lungs, and you can do that with just a brown paper bag. Oh, I forgot to show you. See his lungs? There they are right there, still located between the esophagus and the heart. So that's what it looks like, but it's much bigger in our bodies than in this model's body, okay? So you're going to make the lungs. You're going to just use brown paper bags, or if you have white paper bags, even if you have plastic paper bags, that's okay. So, and what you're going to do is take some tape and straw. You got to have a straw too. Wrap that paper bag, secure it tightly around the straw. Now, if you have air that's going to leak out if you don't put it tightly, okay? So make sure you put it tightly around there. And then you're just going to draw the ventricle of the heart. You can do the left lung, and you can do the right lung. And you can do much like we just did with the balloon. And we can blow air in. And our lung fills up. Now, what can we do? This is the fun part. We can let the air out, but in a bag or plastic bag or whatever, it's a little bit more fun. Oh, squeeze all the air out, and it deflates again. So I want you to do that. And when you do that, you know what I want to do? I want you to send pictures or videos or anything like that to teacher, so that I can see all the fun you're having. I don't want to have all the fun all by myself, boys and girls. So you want to have some fun too, right? So take some pictures of you having fun doing this activity. And you can send that to WKNO, teacher@gmail.com. That goes to me. All right. And I also want you to do something else, just because I want you to learn so much, because you're so smart. And when you go to school, I want you to be able to share this with your teachers and your friends and everybody, all this wonderfulness you're learning. And you can do that by going to our resource page at pbslearningmedia.org. Yeah. Get worksheets, videos, all that kind of stuff on the lungs or other parts of the body, even if you want to. Yeah. Now, I just want to say thank you for being here with me for Silly Science. And I've got to tell the International Paper Foundation thank you because they're the ones that sponsor this and make it all happen. So until next time, boys and girls, teacher says, bye-bye.